Nate says, I agree. In my experience, leaving questions unasked and unanswered has a bad way of becoming stumbling blocks later on when hard times come. I totally agree. Those questions often become doubts left unanswered. Rightly dividing helps dispelling doubts. Exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing about these questions, these famous Christians with that many of us would be familiar with, who said, well, I deconstructed my faith, now I'm no longer a believer. Well, the assumption is deconstruction is not demolition. Deconstruction is you're taking it apart to figure out how it works.
Amen.
How does this whole thing, you're asking questions. And in all of the articles I've read over the last couple of years about deconstruction, the questions they asked were valid, good questions that should be asked. The problem is the theological framework in which they are existing doesn't provide adequate answers for those questions. And the answers to all the questions they're asking themselves about what they believe is found in the grace movement and recognizing Paul as your apostle.
Amen.
So we're a big believer in questions and asking whatever question you want to ask.
Amen.
We take questions live for 2 hours on this show because the truth is so simple and so straightforward. And so I'm all about people asking questions, but the assumption is there is no answer to this question, and therefore the Bible must be wrong or fake or whatever, and I'm going to walk away from the whole thing.
Yeah.
And, that's a legit, that is a logical response if you assume that there is no other answer to the questions that you have. I can understand that. I have a story in my book of a lady who had a husband with cancer, and she was clinging to all the prayer promises in the Gospels, expecting that if she asked, she's going to receive. Doors are going to be opened. If she seeks, she'll find. All the promises you read in the Sermon on the Mount, surely the Lord meant what he said there. And surely if she asked for a miracle about her husband with cancer, then, surely she'll get it. And, they also took her husband to, I don't know if it was her own church or another church, but they followed James 5, and they had everybody lay their hands on him. They poured oil on him, all this stuff. And what happened? He died. He totally died. And she was devastated. And she's thinking, well, the Bible is a book that's full of lies because God promises things he does not do. And therefore, the Bible is fake, and I'm going to walk away. And the answer to her problem isn't that God can't be trusted or the Bible is a lie. The answer to her problem was right division.
Amen, brother.
Recognizing Paul as your apostle.
Yeah.
And then you have these stupid excuses that the pastors were drumming up to explain away why God didn't answer her prayer with the divine miracle that she had asked. Well, maybe you had a secret sin, or you're just not holy enough, or maybe your husband wasn't saved. Maybe you didn't tithe a few weeks ago. There's something, you did something wrong. That's why God didn't answer your prayer, which is just a total, you're just making excuses. When your theology is a total fraud. Amen. You're trying to apply verses that are not talking to you. That has nothing to do with you. And it's just a real tragedy out there.
Yeah. The most dangerous doctrine is to be scriptural, but not dispensational.
Right.
And I can't help but think when I went to Baptist World, the first verse, the first verse they gave me to memorize was, until now, you have not asked anything in my name. Ask and ye shall receive, and your joy will be complete.
Wow.
Oh, man, I had that memorized.
Right.
Boy. But then I saw that, wait a minute, I'm asking things and they ain't happening. So, wait a minute, there's something going on. So I'm checking, honey, are we tithing enough? Are we, is there something you need to tell me, dear? That unconfessed sin, or maybe your faith isn't strong enough, and so to be scriptural, man, you can be scriptural and you'll end up in the lake of fire.
That's right.
You really.
That's right.
It can send you to hell to
be
just scriptural and not dispensational.